Have you ever had to pick yourself up and start over again? Today I'm checking in with Miss Annie Evans, also known as the Start Over expert. She shares her story on how she had to retrain her brain in order to create the life that she has dreamed of. So please stick around and enjoy the show. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Tea. I'm your host, Tanya Tyler, and I'm excited because today is an update show. We've had Miss Annie Evans, the lovely Miss Annie Evans, on before, and she is the author of Live for a New Day, and she is also a co-author of Momentum. So we wanted to really catch up with Miss Annie and see how everything has been going. You're going to be excited about some new stuff that she's got going with me. So without further ado, I'd like to bring on Miss Annie Evans. Welcome back, Miss Annie.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so great to be back with you. I'm really excited. Things have been moving really fast, and so I'm really excited. I've been doing a lot of interviews. I've been with Forbes. I've been with, pretty exciting, lots of Sirius XM hosts, and also written articles, and so everything's moving really fast, and I seem to be getting noticed. So and so I think you already know that I'm a California realtor, and I just recently became a licensed life agent and have connected up with Wealth Builders, which maybe many of your audience have heard of. It's an older company that's been expanding with really excellent core values. And suddenly I realized that was going to be able to pull all my expertise, all my coaching, all my wanting to help people together, because most of us have been really suffering from the lack of financial literacy, and how we can actually really build wealth, and we can protect ourselves, and we can also really help other people. And it's a wonderful opportunity for everybody. I was super skeptical when I started because, there's all the rumors that come out on companies, it's MLM and it's this and this. But I just sat in the background and listened, and actually it's really great people that are way up there in the personal growth, and personal growth is one of their core values, and their core values are really great. So I'm really excited. I'm going whole hog because I know that it's going to pull all of my experience, and I'm a multi-dimensional experienced person. And all I really want to do is help people. Right. So I'm actually getting to where I can now.
Well, again, like you said, I always love to catch up and see all the great stuff that you got going on. And like I said, which really, to me, and I'm a big reader. For those who may know, I'm a big reader of self-help books. So I knew you were doing big things when I saw your interview with Mr. Jack Canfield. So congratulations on that and all your continued success. So let's fill us in on what's been going on. We talked back in, I think it was like May, earlier.
It was a while ago. Yeah, this COVID thing, you kind of lose track of time. The days go by, and so yeah, it's been probably almost 6 months, or maybe a little, yeah. But so it seems like things have been really moving fast because suddenly I'm being recognized, and I really didn't know how to prepare for it, except for obviously that's what I wanted. And so now I'm really kind of getting into it. I'm very comfortable in most interviews, and more comfortable in really being able to reach out and help somebody.
Right. So for those who don't know, can you share us a little bit of your backstory for those who are just now tuning in, and so we can catch up to where we are today?
Right. So I got started on this journey after I left a very varied corporate career of 40 plus years, with many ups and downs, but I was multidimensional, I don't like to say Jill of all trades. So jack of all trades, doing many different things, fairly successful, but having to start over many, many times, just from flat on the floor. So they call me the start over expert. And I really come from a childhood which was quite beautiful, and yet it was full of angst and abuse because I had a severely mentally ill mother. And so it was super traumatic. I actually had to run away, and I ran away across the country when I was 12. So I became an adult very young, but I also really developed, because my mother was just pounding on me about how I wasn't this and I wasn't beautiful enough, and all the limiting beliefs that so many of us, don't even realize are being put into us, and they're very hard to get rid of. So when I was just a very young adult, I had a huge chip on my shoulder, and I was just really angry. It's like, world, you owe me something. And so I started realizing, because I really wanted to be a productive and positive person, but I started realizing people were reacting to me like, you what? And so I go, oh, this isn't working. I'm going to have to do something to change. So I searched and searched. I didn't know what to do. But I did find constructive living, and I really trained myself. I retrained my brain. I reprogrammed my self-conscious and really turned my limiting beliefs into positive ones. And from there, I was able to pretty much step up, and I've had to step up from off the floor many, many times. And so I hope to teach other people, especially in this time of fear and uncertainty. A lot of us haven't, dealt with things like this. And honestly, this came out of the blue for me too. And, it can be very scary, and your life is just completely turned over. And so I try and help people build up their bounce back muscles. And to realize that, even though we are, the fear is undeniable, okay? Mm-hmm. We all have it, and it's just there, but living in it isn't going to do us any good. We need to live in spite of it, and we need to know that the fight and flight response isn't going to do any good. But what can do good is to really look within, pull ourselves up into new dreams and goals, and set the action to make that happen and live the best lives that we can. We can reach all our goals and dreams, but we need to focus in on what it is and really step up and make it happen.
Right. And I know you touched it, and for those who don't know, you really touch on it in your book called Live for a New Day, correct? Did I lose you for a moment?
Yeah. You froze for a moment, but in Live for a New Day, it's not my whole story, but what I did is I took several instances of where, I was dropped onto the floor and I had to pick myself up and start over. And I tried to, tell how I did it. And basically, I still use the process that I used to retrain my brain and to eliminate my limiting beliefs. I mean, every day isn't perfect, so I constantly have to, check in. But most days I live in gratefulness, and I feel blessed with every day. And I want other people to really be able to get in touch with that. So I have lots of steps of things that people can do to snap themselves out of it and really keep just growing and really one of the things I don't think we spend enough time on is really looking at what do we really want?
Yes.
And then believing that we can really have it. But
Right.
we have to take the action in order to make it happen.
Right. And now talk about action, because you gave me an update on you're also another author of another book, and that is called Momentum, correct?
Correct. So a really good friend of mine, Linda Sunshine West, and she's actually going into books now. But we're kind of a circle that is very Napoleon Hill oriented. And so, Dr. Greg Reed is one of my mentors and hers also. So she, came up with the idea for the book. And Greg likes to do I did another collaborative book with him. And so she asked me, would I want to be involved? And so I liked all the other authors that were going to be in it. And so I have 2 chapters in it, and it's quite a journey. We've been doing a lot of interviews on it, many of us. It's this book. It went bestseller in 6 hours on Amazon. It has a very short foreword, I have to admit, by Don Green, the executive director of the Napoleon Hill Foundation. And it has 4 wishmen, which are key influencers that pop in here and there in the book. But the chapters, it's really a journey on, the whole title is Momentum, 13 Lessons from Action Takers Who Changed the World.
Wow.
And so I have 2 chapters, combating the negative and then acting as if. Which I've had to do many times because I don't have super college degrees or anything, but I knew that I could do things really well. And so sometimes I just had to really step up and act as if
right.
I was already somebody. But, you have to do it with honesty and integrity and back it up with the actual goods. So,
right.
Yeah. I encourage everybody to do the same.
Right. And I want to remind our listeners, if you're enjoying the insight that Annie is dropping, please consider hitting that like button and letting us know that you are enjoying what she has. And please feel free to put some comments in there or some questions that you might have for Annie so I can follow up with her. And I want to really segue into, because I mean, I've known you for a period of time, and I just wanted to show, you talked about act as if, and I love it because I remember I used to do social media, and I used to do social media for you. And I remember, and I hope you don't mind me sharing this little story, but it was like one of the biggest takeaway moments I ever had. And it like took me to a whole new level. And I think that probably helped me with coffee with tea. But when we had lunch and we sat out there on Malibu and we had that lunch on the
that was a great lunch.
That was a great lunch. And I would think to myself, I was like, I never shared it with you, but I was sitting there like thinking, a girl could get used to this, you know? Because I was thinking, I could be out here schmoozing with Oprah. And so that was like the atmosphere that you've always had. And I remember the one line that I remember from you, and I hope I get it right, is you like nice things and you like treating yourself to nice things. And I was like, a girl could get used to having that mindset like that. And I want to say, you really encouraged me then. And that's why I've been a big fan ever since.
Oh, thank you. And the thing about liking, I have a little story to respond with that, because my mother, mentally ill and everything, she was also had champagne tastes and liked everything, but she never did anything to earn them. And so it was a constant, everybody around her is going, she what? Because she'd go out and buy these things. So we have to have integrity. We have to earn, but there's no sense in working our whole lives and, all the toil and trouble that we really need to do to make a living and not enjoy ourselves and not treat ourselves well. I could still treat myself better. I told you before we went on air that I'm getting a new puppy. I'm so excited.
Right.
Yeah, my dog died. One of my dogs, really precious to me. I remember I was writing my book, and I keep writing about, controlling your feelings. And he had just died, but I had a deadline, and I even wrote in the book, my little Jackson died, and I'm still writing right now because I've had to set those feelings aside. But don't worry, because I will grieve later. He's precious to me, and so you can hear in my voice that
Right.
he's still there. So
Yeah, I remember Jackson.
yeah.
I remember Jackson's.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've had history, Miss Annie. So I'm
I
so
know.
proud of everything that you got accomplished, and so I'm proud of you. Like I said, I'm a big fan.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I am also of you. You had to leave me behind at one point, so congratulations on everything that you've been doing also. It's really awesome.
Well,
And our mutual friend Tyrone, can you
yes.
believe?
Oh, he's doing some big
Yeah.
stuff too. So yeah, you know what? I guess I couldn't help but rise because I'm surrounded by people who are doing big things.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I feel like that's what's happening with me too.
yeah,
It's
your
really
circle is quite nice. Like I said, well, you got Dr. Reed and Miss Sharon Lecter, and that's like those are some great people to be with. So again,
yeah. Both Greg and Sharon wrote endorsements for my book that are in here, as well as other people too. So I've really been blessed.
right.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to also, before we wrap up, it's like, what's the one thing you would love to, as your journeys expand, what's the one thing you want to leave the audience with?
Well, especially just, I'm a big believer in not living on remote control, and I think that so many of us do. We let other people's expectations control our lives to the point where sometimes we don't even realize, like I sort of touched on this earlier, we don't realize that we're not really living the life we want to really live for ourselves.
Right.
And sometimes there's really hard changes that we have to make in order to do that. And other times it's just a minor pivot. But we really have to get in touch. So, every time I had to start over, I went deep within and I analyzed everything, my attitude towards, such and such, and my feelings about things, and what did I really want. And I think we all need to do that on a regular basis. And again, during this time where we're all probably going to have to make major shifts in how we do things. I mean, it's great that we have this technology. I'm loving it. I'm sitting at home, I'll get off here and I'll be out in my garden. And, so we just need to be adaptable, and we need to solve the problems within ourselves in order to manifest the life we truly want to live. And so I really do hope to help people do that. And also in this time where so many people have lost their income and jobs and everything, there are opportunities out there. And so, rather than getting depressed and everything, and contact me if you want one, because I have some ready to go things. So we just need to keep moving forward, and we'll all get through this. And the more positive we are, the better it's all going to be for all of us.
Right. And I also want to follow up with, where can people find more information about you, your books, and stuff like that?
So the one thing that more is coming, but the one thing that I've been relying on for most people to contact me is my website for the book, which is actually www.liveforanewday.com. It's a demo page that will be part of my bigger website, but it has all my contact information, as does Annie Evans' real coffeewutea.com.
Okay. And where is your books out on Amazon if anybody's looking for that?
It's out on Amazon. And in fact, right now I still have the Kindle version at 98 cents. And I'm really I would love for anybody to pick it up. It's a fairly easy read, but I've been getting really great reviews. Amazon isn't posting them all.
Right.
Not Amazon, but you know, I would really appreciate it. And then if you really like it and think that it might help you, because there are things that people can do for themselves, then purchase the paperback.
And we can find that on your website as well?
There's a link to Amazon. Right now it's only on Amazon, although if anybody wants to contact me, I have some, and you know, with the right please and thank you, I will send people a copy.
Well, thank you, Miss Annie, for all.
Thank you so much. It's so great to see you again, and sometime we'll have to have another lunch. Come up here to Ventura. It's very cool.
No, I'm gonna.
Santa Barbara.
As soon as I get all clear, I'm coming.
Okay. All right. I love you.
Love you too. Hey, for everyone who tuned in, remember, feedback is always welcome. Email us if you have any guest or show ideas. Links to all of Annie's comments or sites that she mentioned will be posted in the comments. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up or leave us a comment below. And if you're enjoying the insight and you want to see more, please consider hitting that subscribe button down there below. And remember, take things in stride, go with the flow, and create your own path. And we'll see you back here on another episode of Coffee with Tea. So, talk to you later.
Thank you so much.
Share with us, what was one of your takeaways from today's show? Post your answers in the comments. Hi everyone, this is Tanya again, popping in to say thank you for listening to today's show. Coffee with Tea interviews are always free, and if you're enjoying the wisdom and insights that are being shared, please stay and grow with us and show your financial support. You can buy us coffee or become a monthly supporter. Links are posted in the description box. And again, I wanted to personally say thank you for tuning in.